All right. All right. Let's see here. Oh, I want to adjust this camera down a little bit. See if that helps. It is Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. And you know what time that means. It is time for the South Carolina Normal Cannabis Conversation. I'm kind of excited about tonight. I just hope it comes together. Oh, goodness me, goodness me. Well, again, welcome to everybody who's coming in on board with us here. I'm going to give it a minute or two as we wait to let people join in on the conversation here. I'm setting my trivia questions up so we can ask some trivia questions in a little bit. And let me just click on my right button or banner here. That's what I'm looking for. And it looks like it's about time to start with our disclaimer. As always, we all of our meetings are an environment of education and awareness and are not an open market for the sale, purchase, or distribution of cannabis. We do not condone illegal behavior of encourage or condone illegal behavior of any kind. All right, this is also the time of the program where I usually like to click on this little button and ask you to follow us on our social media. Uh, Actually, on this one, I'm going to ask you not only to follow us on social media, but if you see some interesting posts or something that we put out there, share them. If you like what we post, like it. If you don't like, put the frowny face, but interact with it. It helps our algorithms. It helps kind of share uh, the content with other people. So um, if you would, interact with our posts on our social media. Um, I have listed on here our Instagram and Twitter are at SC Normal. You can also search us on YouTube at South Carolina Normal. And that one I would recommend that you go ahead and hit that notification bell, subscribe, so you can get notifications for when our um, program is being first off announced. We usually try to do that a couple of days in advance. You'll get a notification then. And then one more, I think it's about a half hour before we kick off. And then I think maybe one right as we kick off. The only reason I know that is I click the notifications for my own self every now and again just to see how they work for you. So let me click that one off and also click on the next little button here. Please visit our website, scnormal.org or normalsc.org. That is NORML. There is no A in there. SC Normal. Um, and if you click over to our About drop down, you'll find the sponsors. Click out down at the bottom of that. Go out, check out our sponsors, and support them as they help support us and help to fund our efforts in trying to change the marijuana laws here in South Carolina. It is, as you all know, a challenge and an uphill battle. All righty. Jennifer's in and saying, hey, Jennifer, thank you for joining us tonight. Great to have you here. Let me click my other button. I'm losing track of what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. I'm going to turn this one off, click over to this one. Too many buttons to click. I kind of miss VP. She'd be kind of handling some of the stuff, and I'd be kind of clicking some buttons, and then sometimes she'd click some buttons, and we had it all handled. But she has been still very busy with family, friends, family and work and her business. Um, so she is still working on a couple of projects in the background for us. I'm hoping they're kind of coming together. But usually in the intro and agenda is where I try to throw it over to VP and say, hey, VP, what are we talking about tonight? But I'm going to have to put on my VP persona here and say, hey, what we got to talk about tonight is we're actually going to try and talk about our upcoming beach sweep down at Folly Beach coming up this Sunday. This Sunday, beach sweep's going to start at 9 a.m. So we're going to ask you to get there about 8:45, gather up, and that way we'll be able to listen to the folks that we've partnered with from the South Carolina Aquarium Turtle Watch program to sort of supply us with the supplies that we're going to need, the little garbage grabber things and the bags to put the garbage in and clipboards and notepads or paper or whatever to track and keep data of the items that we pick up. So I'm hoping that we get that pulled together here. I was communicating with our contact earlier today and let her know that we'd have her on the program this evening. I don't know what happened. I'm not seeing her join in yet. I have just recently contacted her. I'm gonna try and hit this one more time. Ooh, I wonder if I can send her the same link on the text. Let me open up my text stuff here, folks. Yeah, because she was gonna supposed to be joining me and also bring on board her helper to kind of all right, so let me shoot there a text. I sent her a message through Facebook. Hopefully one of these buzzes her phone and lets her know that we are here. And in the meantime, while we kind of wait to kill a minute or two, and it's about the time that we normally do this, cannabis trivia time. So we've got our first question of the evening. We've been trying to do 3 per evening if we can. I think I forgot again last week and only did 2. So this week we're going to start with a first cannabis question. It is a movies category. 30-point question. I think they range from like 30 to 50. I don't know if there's any 20s in here, but I just had something ding. Did it through my email on my computer. It says StreamYard. All right. She's it looks like she's moving in the right direction here. See if we get her connected in here. I might have to send her the link again. Let me email her the link. All right. I'm not sure where she is because she's not in our conversation. All right, let me try this again. Give me a moment. Okay. Bear with me, folks. I'm sorry about this technical difficulties. I'm trying to teach someone how to get in on StreamYard who has never been on. I guess I probably should have done a preliminary test. I never really thought about that. But let's get back to the trivia question while I try and watch my messaging here at the same time. Movies category 30-point question. Woo! In the 1930s anti-marijuana movie, a young man was caught using marijuana and is committed to a mental institution for life. In this 1930s movie, which movie was it? Reefer Madness, Assassin of Youth, or Devil's Garden? In this 1930s anti-marijuana movie, a young man is caught using marijuana and is committed to a mental institution for life. Was that Reefer Madness, Assassin of Youth, or was that Devil's Garden? All right. I see our guest logging on. I'll bring her in just a moment and send her a message through our private chat in the background here to say hello. All right. Jennifer got the answer already. I kind of got sidetracked. And yes, the answer is Reefer Madness. That was the movie in 1930s. I believe, I'm not sure the exact year, but it was in the 1930s. An anti-marijuana movie. A young man was caught using marijuana and was committed to a mental institution for life. Take that. Heed that warning, my friends. Heed that warning. Or believe it is the propaganda. It is. All right. That was our first trivia question of the evening. Uh, and now it's kind of time to move on. I am excited to introduce our guest this evening. Vanessa Trexler Altman is with us. She works with the, so correct me if I'm wrong, but works with the South Carolina Aquarium's Turtle Watch program. I got some weird colors changing on my camera. And she's going to be our partner and supply us with the supplies that we need for our beach sweep on Sunday. So let's kind of check and see if her mic is on. Hello, Vanessa. How are you this evening?
Hey, good to see you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much for partnering with us and helping us get the speech sweep organized. I'm pretty excited about it. Just in the past day, I've gotten a couple of other contacts saying, hey, we're coming out. I think I had another family of 3 or 4 signed up. So we should be moving right up about to that target number that I gave you earlier today. We should have about 18 people to show up. That should split up into a couple of nice 3-person teams, I believe. Some might have some younger children, so maybe they'll have to kind of do a 4-person team or something, but we'll get that all figured out. So while we are talking about this, I really want to quick in the chat share the link to our Beach Sweep sign up. I'm going to go find that form here real quick. There it is. I'm going to copy the link and drop it into the comments here. And hope I don't fat finger this and misspell everything. All right, there it goes. Drop the link into the Beach Sweep sign up into the chat. And I guess we kind of ought to kick things off, Vanessa, with having you tell us a little bit about yourself and your involvement with the aquarium and the Beach Sweep program or the turtle program, and your secret identity, if you would share that with us as well. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, I'm Vanessa Altman. I actually live on Folly Beach, and I am chairperson of the Folly Association of Business Litter Committee. I'm also Toby the Turtle. I work with the Folly Beach Turtle Patrol, and I also work with the conservation team of South Carolina Aquarium. So what I do is I try to get beach sweeps. Every year we have 4 major ones that we do. Excuse me, 3 major ones. We do 3 Toby sweeps. One of them is the World Ocean Day. And I'm thrilled to have y'all on. Beach sweeps can be fun. Uh, I hate we have to have beach sweeps, but we do. And a lot of what really helps with the beach sweeps is we will give you a form, and I'll kind of go over it that day when we meet up and show you how it's used. And what this form does is this is a litter journal. The litter journal was created by the South Carolina Aquarium, and it can be used anywhere throughout the country, upstate, or even if you're in New York and you put down, on your phone, you're from New York. It's just really a good program. This program helps once you collect your data and you record it on your little sweep journal sheet. This helps our elected officials for us to be able to go to them and tell them this is what kind of litter problems we have, whether it be on Folly, J.I., Johns Island, Charleston, where Ladson, Somerville, wherever there's a litter situation, we're able to go to elected officials and ask them. We can get grants, we can get bans. Here on Folly Beach, we have the following bands that came because of the Litter Journal, because of people like you picking up litter, recording it, and we were able to go to elected officials. We were able to ban cigarette butts. And reason why that's so important, because I don't know if y'all know, but cigarette butts are actually made of a lot of plastic. So plastic is not good for us. It's not good for the turtles, the fish. Um, and it actually takes, believe it or not, 18 months to 10 years to actually decompose. This is not good for the environment. So we were finding cigarette butts, just to give you an idea, we were finding, like, in one sweep I did, me by myself under the pier, I found close to 350 cigarette butts alone. And
Wow.
so after a bunch of us were doing sweeps and got with the aquarium, we were able to go to our elected officials and be able to put a ban on cigarette butts, so that people understand it's not an ashtray out there, And I hate it for those people who are respectful, but there's a lot of people who don't understand what damage it does to the environment. So this is the reason why it's so important that when you collect this data, that it's recorded, so that we can actually, like I said, go to elected officials. Everything we do, what you do, whether you pick it up in the city, I want you to remember everything ends up in a waterway. The waterways up in the mountains always end up into the ocean. So sadly, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to prevent and make our ocean better for us, for the marine life and the wildlife. And I don't know if any of y'all know this, but 50 to 80% of the oxygen of the earth comes from the ocean. So we really need the ocean for the marine life. Without marine life, we can't exist. So, I hope I'm helpful. When we do it Sunday, you will meet. I will provide you with gloves, pickers, and also bags, and also this form that Scott's showing you on on the screen. And I'll go over and tell you, we do it in tally marks. So if you find, like, I'm just going to give you a for instance, the cigarette filters, always pick on it. If you find 5, of course you put 4 tally marks and then one, one's, slashed across. And once you turn it in, what'll happen is I will tally it with the aquarium underneath the NORML. Is it NORML South Carolina?
South Carolina NORML. Yep.
Okay. I will put it underneath there. Scott will get the data and he will actually send it to y'all, so you'll know how much you did pick up, how many people, how long we're at. Okay, does that help? Oh, and another thing, when you go, if you're on the beach, believe it or not, we find large items. If it's something that you can't bring back, just let me know. Write it on the bottom of your sheet, and I will have Beach Patrol pick it up. Okay, because we can't go in the dunes. That is a fine.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. If we see a large item or some items in the dunes area, um, leave it be, make a note of it, and then you'll have somebody authorized to get it. Go get it.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Um, yeah, I was kind of curious about that. You explained it very well. We'll be making little marks or tally marks along as we pick up the items, and that's why I think I had mentioned earlier in the program. But our plan is to sort of split folks up into 3 or 4 person teams. As Vanessa's explained to me, generally there are 2 people that will pick up items and sort of call out to the third person with the clipboard what those items are. But again, so that they can keep track. Again, if there's maybe some families that we have coming out, which I believe we do, that have some little ones, we might have 3 pickers, because dad or mom might be helping the little one pick, and the other parent might be the tally taker. So that's sort of what I'm envisioning, but we'll see how it all plays out. And I did share another document earlier. I kind of grabbed the wrong one. What was that one that I had here? Oh, that's the data sheet. Oh, this one here, which talks about the plastic-free waters program. Is that what you were involved in? You had sent me that one there. and that has some
Yes.
interesting data
That
on there.
that one there is like it shows that we have 2,200 members, in which I'm gonna go when I meet with y'all Sunday. I will show you. We actually have a mobile app. So once I kind of filter y'all into this, Scott, you'll be able to take your group and, like, if they're out doing something, they can record it underneath the South Carolina NORML and be able to tally that, and it'll go straight to the aquarium. I won't have to be involved. I don't mind being involved, but this way it's pretty cool because, kids love to play on phones. It actually has that same form that we had before, but it'll be on your phone. But when
So
we're doing it,
if any of our supporters downloaded this app and registered that they were with us here at Normal, or even if they're not using it, they could maybe go to the beach as a family and then just walk the beach a little bit, kind of beach sweeping, and
oh
then log
yes,
it right into the app.
yes, what they'll do is, like, okay, this group, when y'all do it Sunday, I'm going to take the paper and do it this time. But after then, and I'm going to give y'all a little bookmark on Sunday. It's going to be like a bookmark. They'll explain exactly about the app for them to be able to program it down. So let's say they're in Charleston, they're at the harbor, okay, and they see garbage and they just want to pick up debris. They're able to do that and record it on their phone, and it goes straight to the aquarium. It's a cool thing. And then this way,
Nice.
you'll be able to see what they're doing. And then they'll see as a group, wow, look, our group picked up 1,500 pieces of debris. It's really amazing. I had a group about 2 weeks ago that picked up 1,460 pieces of debris. And it's
Wow.
amazing when you start seeing the ban items, which I will break down. Like styrofoam, I think we had a little over 150 pieces, and that's banned on the beach. And then cigarettes, again, here we went, 308, and that's banned on the beach. So, I mean, and then this is way, what we do is when there's bans, we can go as a group and ask council. Okay, like I'm picking on Folly Beach and I don't mean to, but go to council and say, okay, we've got these bans. Why have we got these figures so high? What can we do to help you enforce it? You see what I'm saying? So it's really good. They're on the books as bans. It's really good. IOP, I think, is another ban on cigarettes, and they have a few bans in place too.
Yeah, and sort of reminds me, I was a backpacker in my younger days, back in the 70s and such like that. And it was always, and I think it's still pretty much the rule, if you pack it in, you pack it out. And I
Hmm.
really wish beachgoers would have that same model. If you bring it to the beach, take it along with you when you go. Don't be leaving your garbage. Don't be leaving your broken tent because it got caught in the wind. Take your trash with you, and dispose of it properly.
Well, it's really sad because I have to share something. 2 years ago, I got a phone call because I help with stranding of birds also. And there was an owl that got tangled up in a balloon with the string, and he was fighting to get out. And he entangled himself, so he ended up dying. So,
Mm.
and that was a litter piece that was on the beach that got caught with the wind, and he got caught up in it. So this is, that's just one horrible thing that happens with litter. I mean, we had a little baby turtle that wasn't but I think maybe a few months old that they found washed up with 105 pieces of plastic in its digestive system.
Oh, goodness.
So, I mean, we have to remember that's our livelihood. We all have to live together. And there's no plan B. We are plan A, and that's it. This is our planet. We've got to take care of it and take care of our ocean. And because of you becoming scientists daily, you're helping to do that. And I appreciate you very deeply.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Crossing my fingers that weather holds out. I believe I saw it might be a little overcast. They're calling for a little possible thunderstorm, but I know there's the Folly bubble. And if some of our viewers don't know about the Folly bubble covers Folly and keeps all the bad weather away. Yeah, we might get a little overcast, but we'll be in the bubble.
Just please bring water to, I'm going to try to have a jug, but I can't promise water to hydrate. I do turtle walks and the heat is unbelievable. So, and even put bandanas around your neck, make them wet or whatever makes you comfortable, you know. And then, like you said, with it being overcast, that's probably going to be the best thing instead of that sun falling
I'm
down.
kind of hoping. I'm kind of hoping because this sun has been brutal,
It
and,
has been.
and so I'm kind of got my fingers crossed that Sunday is a little bit less sunny. You know, some overcast would be nice. The high what I saw in the forecast the other day was only going to be 88, which is kind of low for right now. And you know, a little sprinkle or two might not feel bad. So yeah, I'm hoping it all works out because our plan is to, you know, as you know, get there a little bit early, be ready to start the beach sweep at 9 o'clock. Probably beach sweep till about 10:30 till people get a little too tired or whatever the case may be. After that, I'm not sure about everybody else, but kind of my plan will be to hit down to Second Street, down to Center Street, and probably grab a pastry and a cup of coffee somewhere, or head over to Burt's and grab a snack, get some refreshments. I will also be bringing some bottled water along, which reminds me, I have to go and pick up a cooler this week. But I will be bringing some bottled water along as well to help keep everybody hydrated. But yeah, the plan is to kind of do the beach sweep. While we're beach sweeping, hopefully talk to folks a little bit about cannabis law reform. And then after that, a quick snack and break time, and then come back and just spend some time on the beach and enjoy Folly for a while. We're going to have our tent set up. We'll probably have some brochures and stickers for you all to pass out. And like I said, bring your beach chairs, bring your umbrellas, bring your towels and trunks and plenty of beverages. And come out and join us on Sunday morning for the beach sweep.
Well, thank you for having us, and thank you for letting the South Carolina Conservation Group help y'all with this. And I'm telling you, once you start, you'll be like, oh my God, there's that debris everywhere you go, because I see it everywhere.
Well, when Karen and I come down to the beach, we invariably will walk the beach with 2 plastic bags, one little one for looking for shark's teeth and one bigger one for picking up the garbage. And invariably we get more garbage than shark's teeth, but yeah, we're still looking for some of those big ones.
I wanted to share our Fab Litter group. Toby the Turtle has created beach toy boxes. So for the little ones that come out, you're able to go on different accesses, and where you're going to be at 110 East Access, and behind the tides, we have actual sandboxes that'll have beach toys in them. So they'll be able to go and the program is take one, leave one. But, you know, they take some as long as they put them back and don't leave them on the beach. That's the main thing.
Yep. It's sort of like the, you know, take a penny, leave a penny that you would find at the cash register in the store, except
Yes.
it's take a toy, leave a toy. And it's a great way to keep the toys off the beach. I know for the longest time out on 3rd Street West, a lot of the toys would get picked up and then zip tied up along the walkway. And people were, you know, I guess allowed to take them and play with them and take them back again. But the box option's a whole lot better because you're not attaching them in a solid way to something like that. And I think that's great that you've sort of spread them along the beach area. So
well, you can't
I'm really
miss
looking
them.
forward to it. And thank you so much for coming on tonight and talking about the beach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice night. We'll see you Sunday morning.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. All right. Let me go ahead and clear my screen. There we go. And look at the time. It is 7:30. If you have any questions, oh, look at that lighting. Man, I got that bright. If you have any questions about the beach sweep or how to sign up or where we're going to be, throw it there in the comment section, and I will try and answer any questions you might have. but I see it's 7:30, so I'm going to hit question number 2. My goodness, that lighting is bright. I'm going to turn that away a little bit. A history question, which is kind of funny because this isn't as old as the question we asked earlier as far as back in history. History question. What year did High Times magazine publish its first edition? Was it 1974, 1972, 1970, or 1978? Interesting. Clue? I was in high school at the time. Okay, history question, 40 points if you're keeping score. What year did High Times magazine publish their first edition? 1974, 1972, 1970, or 1978? All right. Well, I didn't do this earlier, so I'm going to do it now. Our trivia questions are also a sponsorable segment here on the show. If you'd like to promote your business, contact us through our website, scnormal.org. Go to the contact page and send me an email or message and let me know that you're interested in sponsoring a trivia question. And we'll get you on and promote your business right here on the podcast. All right, I'll read it through one more time, see if anybody has an answer for us yet. Let's get to the answer here. History, 40 points. What year did High Times magazine publish its first edition? The answer is 1974. I think I was in about 10th grade or so. Couldn't tell you what school I was in at the time because I kept getting kicked out from one head to another. So 1974, first edition of High Times magazine. All right, put this one back in the box. And I don't know what to talk about now. Because really I was planning on talking about Beach Sweep for the whole time. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And I really thank Vanessa for being here with us tonight. I do want to point out something in just a second and give a plug to a friend, extended family member. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. If you can see this right here behind me, let me see if I can pull this down off the wall. This is a Pennsylvania Dutch hex sign painted for me by a Pennsylvania Dutch hex sign painter. Matter of fact, this hex sign painter recently just painted 2 very large hex signs on my son's barn. Repainted, I think, the old ones in or something like that. Son recently had the barn repainted, and his cousin on his mother's side, my first wife's side, is the sign painter. And I'm going to kind of share his Facebook page here real quick with you. See if I can find it. Window, boom. And he goes by RAM or RAM American Handmade. Matter of fact, here is a picture of him painting the hex signs on my son's barn. That was back, I think, late last year he painted those. And I'm thinking that's my son's barn. Anyway, he was also at the book festival this past month or just this past week, earlier this month. And you can see he's got all kinds of different hex signs there. And what I find, and he's painting one in the background while he's, waiting for customers to come in. And here's one. I shared this post. This is actually, I think, the exact one I'm holding in my hand. Maybe. Actually, I think the signature might be different, so it might be an identical one, but very close to it. I don't know. Same one. I'm trying to look at the dates. It's hard to tell on the picture. But I think I shared this particular one. No, I didn't. I shared another one down a little further, maybe. There it was. I shared this on our Facebook page the other week because I happened to see him share this post. He was supposed to be having his hemp hex sign available at the Kutztown Folk Festival, but apparently, due to some public outcry from a few people afraid of a plant, he was unable to display them and have them available for folks at that show. They, let's see how he wrote it. Hemp hex unfortunately has to go to the black market. It's the biggest seller of all my hex designs and will now only be available directly through me or my website. I also sell wallets, hand stitched with hemp, leather conditioner made from hemp, seed oil, and dream catchers woven with hemp. But yeah, he was actually, I thought there was that particular post, but there was one where he shared that he was actually banned from having it at one of the events. So he decided he's just not going to take him to events for the most part. Although I did see up here, he did have this one say, oh, we're going to have it at this event. So it may be something I'll have to sort of play event by event and talk to the event sponsors and such like that. This is in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has medical legal and Pennsylvania go recreational. Somebody tell me, I should know this. I know Philadelphia was working on home grow. But no, it doesn't look like it's only medical in Pennsylvania yet. I think they're still working on passing. But hemp is legal, as we all know. So that's where he was trying to. In the other post I read, he was trying to educate a little bit on hemp farming in the Pennsylvania Dutch and Mennonite cultures, and yeah, because he was doing that, there was an outcry because of the leaf, and yeah, he got stopped from taking it up to that particular festival, which again I find hilarious. But on the other side, let me turn the share off of this. On the other side of it, I got me a very cool hex sign. And he told me in a message somewhere along the way that people often ask him, the meaning of the different hex signs. And he said, well, this one helps protect you from being arrested and raided by law enforcement. So let's hope that it offers some protection. And maybe if you want to, check out his Facebook page, RAM American Handmade. Also, you go to hex-signs.com and check out his stuff. I didn't even realize he had a website there until I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. Some very cool hex signs. And if you're from Pennsylvania or Amish and Dutch, Pennsylvania Dutch are throughout the country. So depending on where you are, I was born and raised in Pennsylvania Dutch country. So I remember hex signs hanging around, probably as decorations in the house for since I was a little toddler. So I was thrilled to get it in the mail. He gifted this to me a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I think I got it about a week ago or so. I haven't decided exactly where I'm going to hang it, so I made sure I hung it here first so I could share it all with y'all. And I don't know, maybe it'll stay back here. We'll figure that out soon. All right. Well, that was a plug for a friend and family member, extended family member. So sorry about that, but thought you might find it cool. Let me check the time here quick. Oh, it's only about 10 minutes went by. We've got a few more left here. So let me kind of do a little bit more rambling, if you don't mind. Think I mentioned it a little bit in our newsletter, and it kind of reminded me when I said something about I don't know what to talk about. Well, I got an email because that's kind of what I started my director's corner with last time. Is I don't know what to talk about this month. Then somebody somebody emailed me and said you should be rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, nah, not at the moment. Yeah, I don't want to go wagging fingers at political parties, which is sort of what he wanted me to do, wagging fingers at political parties for not getting their head out of their ass and moving legislation forward. And you know, I'm aware of it. It's there, and I've talked about it probably a number of times before. But there's only so much shouting at the and shaking your fist at the rain that you can do to make it stop, kind of thing. Um, and I'd really rather find some other options than calling out people. I'd really rather find ways to help move their opinions forward, help them transition to a better opinion of cannabis, and start pushing away the propaganda that they've been brainwashed with all their lives. Um, I, I don't know, but anyway, the hope is, and again, I think I talked about this in the newsletter, to restart our petition process to get decriminalization on the ballot and let the voters decide whether we should decriminalize simple possession in certain in municipalities across the state. It's not an easy process. I mean, I think it's taken Ohio years, 3-4 years ago when I first started getting involved with the group up there that was doing that. And I think they're at 27 municipalities at this point, like 4 years later. They had even come to Myrtle. They had even come to Myrtle Beach one time to work with somebody up in that area to try and get a petition started, and that one kind of faltered. And then when we tried to do it here, you know, it was kind of a false start, and then COVID fell in on us and threw everything to a stop. So we're hoping to start it again. I've got our board talking about it, and our new marketing manager, well, actually our event coordinator, who has a bit marketing background. So I'm hoping we can sort of start to plan this out. And again, the target for this one is going to be Folly Beach. It's close to where I live. It's a relatively small community. We need about 400 signatures from registered voters that live in that community. We're probably targeting a collection of about 800 signatures, and then trying to hope that half of those are that qualify. Um, it's tough sometimes to get qualification if the voter registration board can't read, or not board, I don't know who it does at the voting registration, but if they can't read the name or read the address or something, they strike them. They have to be able to, it has to be legible. They have to read who that voter is, because this is a voter initiated ballot initiative. And so it can only be voters that sign, registered voters in the town of Folly Beach for this particular one. Or if we would do one for Charleston, registered voters in the city of Charleston. And those are the only ones that are permitted to sign, or that will qualify. Others can sign it and it won't do any good. They'll strike them, quicker than you can say lickety split. So that is one of probably the hardest parts, is finding those registered voters to sign the petition in a tourist town like Folly. Because as I've mentioned a number of times, I think they have about a 3,000 to 4,000 population in off season, which balloons to about 23 to 24,000 during season. and that 20,000 kind of turns over every week or two. Bunch leave, new ones come in, and so all of a sudden those registered voters and that live there, technically live there anyway, vote there, are hard to find in season. So again, we're talking about it. We're probably trying to plan something that may start right around Halloween or the beginning of like November, and run through hopefully only the end of January, end of February at the latest. I mean, if we put a solid effort in it, I'm hoping we can get 800 signatures, 400 to qualify. And I would love to see Folly Beach be the first city in South Carolina to decriminalize. I mean, they've sort of got that, Jimmy Buffett stigma. Jimmy Buffett comes surf there from time to time, but on the other side, Mayor Goodwin down there, I don't think it would be very friendly or accepting of the idea. And we'll see. We'll see. Like I say, we're talking about it. I'd like to say it's a good idea. I'm just not sure if we can get away with pulling it off without a whole lot of help and a whole lot of volunteers. I have to see if I have it right here behind me. Sorry about that. This sheaf of papers was the 2019 list of registered voters in Folly Beach. And if we can't get them to come out to petition signing events, we're going to have to go door to door and start knocking on each and every door and saying, is John such and such here? Is the Mr. and Mrs. in the house? Are you registered voters? I mean, we have a list of who they are and where they live. All we have to do is knock on the door and say, we're trying to get decriminalization of cannabis on the ballot here in Folly Beach. Would you be interested in signing our signature? We don't believe anybody should be arrested or go to prison for simple cannabis possession. And either they'll sign it or they won't. And now, mind you, this petition process is a two-step kind of thing. You have the first part where you collect all those signatures, and then you turn those signatures into the voter registration, and they've confirmed them, and then your ballot initiative goes to be moved and put onto the ballot. Phase 2 is to get down there and get people ramped up before November hits, so like most of, I guess, October, and really promote, get out the vote. We need your vote to decriminalize here in Folly Beach. And so it's a two-phase process. I mean, you've got to first get the signatures, get it on the ballot, and then you've got to get the voters out to vote. Now, the one thing about it for next year is if we do this winter, we'll call it that, fall, winter, through let's say November, December, January, maybe February, get these signatures turned in. It will go on the ballot for next November. It's a presidential election year next November. And so there's generally better turnout on presidential election years. So then it's just, we hope that the people that turn out are going to vote in favor of decriminalizing. And that's where the push would then come in. So, anyway, I think I'm kind of done rambling on that a little bit. If you do have any thoughts, comments, or ideas on helping us promote that, I would definitely love to hear those. And we'll see where we go with it. Otherwise, we do have a couple other things we're trying to get in the works as far as activities. We've been talking about doing a picnic probably in fall in the North Charleston area. I know VP has mentioned doing a craft fair vendor event down in downtown Charleston at her shop. They have actually on doing it sort of on an ongoing basis. maybe quarterly, maybe even monthly. We're not sure yet how she's working on that. But that could be kind of interesting right in front of her shop. They have some decent parking in the area. It's not in the touristy downtown area. So, you're right but you're right off of King Street, right on King Street. But I think it would be great. I think it'd be a great idea if we get some vendors out there. They don't have to be cannabis related, but it would be good to help them, have them at least want to support the cause. So keep an eye out for that. We'll see what we can come up with on that one. And otherwise, the only other thing, like I say, we've got our beat sweep coming up. We have one more reggae night coming up on James Island County Park that we're planning to be at, which will be Friday, August 4th. And so if you do get a chance and the weather's not too horrible, I missed the last one. I must admit, I think it was on the 14th or something like that. There was a reggae night. And just walking out to the mailbox, I'm like, I'm breaking a sweat. I'm like, I'm not going to go sit in this. Sit in the sauna for a couple hours and drag chairs, and I just was not up to it. So I turned the AC down a little bit and hit the couch. If you were out there and were looking for me, I apologize. I was not there, but we will have another one coming up, and we hope to see you there August 4th. Otherwise, that's it for me tonight. Again, last time I'm going to remind you, if you would like to, go ahead and sign up for our beat sweep this coming Sunday. You can find a link to it on our website on the coming events page, and also on our on our Facebook page under the events. They'll both have a link to the sign up sheet. Otherwise, I think that's all I got for you tonight. I'm hoping to see you there on Sunday. Don't forget, bring plenty of sunscreen, because even if it is overcast, those UV rays come through. And I want you to be safe and don't burn. But yeah, come on down, beach sweep. And if you missed the beach sweep, you can still come down and hang on the beach with us. We'd love to see you. Take home a bunch of stickers. Take home some brochures to share in your neighborhood. Come on out, have some fun with us, and let's show that advocates that are working to reform marijuana laws can hang. Yeah, let's let them know we can hang. All right. If anybody has any other comments, throw them in the comment section. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to call it a few minutes early tonight and say don't forget to join us again next Wednesday, 7 p.m. We will be here for the next South Carolina NORML Cannabis conversation. That's it for me. Have a great evening. Bye now.